Hi, this is Mo Candy. We're going to show you how to do MYO edible candy mix, how to make it today. First, we're going to cut the lid off. So, take the plastic off. And for this demonstration, we're just going to take the lid off and keep it off. As you can see, here's the mix. We've got some CBD flour. We're going to put a couple of grams of CBD flour in the mix. We're going to take the mix and we're going to put it in the microwave. This is a 900-watt microwave, and we're going to overcook this a little bit just to prove a point. But in your instructions, a 900-watt microwave, you'd be using it for a minute, cooking it for a minute and 40 seconds. We're going to cook it for a minute and 45 seconds. The minute and 40 seconds is to get it 245 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. At that point, THCA or CBDA, the A is obliterated at 250 degrees and it becomes 100% active. If it gets over 250, it's really no big deal as long as it doesn't get over 275 degrees. 250 or over the more you, the higher the temperature, the more little added of water. In your instructions it shows 1 to 3 teaspoons of water, depending on how you want your candy to, what kind of texture you want your candy. I just made some before I got on here. And this candy has got about 150 milligrams of CBD in each piece. Anyway, like I said, we're microwaving this product for a minute and 45 seconds right now. And we're making some chocolate fudge edibles. What we'll do after we get it out of the microwave, we'll mix it up a little bit and we'll take this meat thermometer and we'll see what temperature it actually gets to. I do this all the time because the humidity and the barometric pressure will change what temperature your candy actually gets to in a microwave. It's a little nuance, but it works. Okay, so we got it out of the microwave. There's our product. It's all cooking. It's going crazy. So we're gonna mix it up a little bit. We're not gonna do anything with the sides of the candy cup. We're gonna just mix it up a little bit. We're gonna let it sit. And as it sits, the temperature on the thermometer, we're gonna read it, see what it says. Because all we're really trying to do is get it 245 to 250. This should get probably 260 degrees, maybe 265, because we added an extra 5 seconds. Usually a 5-second increase in a microwave, whether it's a 800, 900, 1000 watt microwave, is going to add an extra 10 degrees to your edible mix. Okay, so like this, it's already at 260 degrees and we're in the candy, and as long as it doesn't get over 275, we're all good. So it's at 265 right now. So all the A's have fallen off the CBD, and if it was THC cannabis, it would have all fallen off of it too. Okay, so now we're at 270 degrees. So this candy, because the humidity's getting lower where I'm at, this candy has gotten a lot harder, and that stopped. So it's 270 degrees. Soft crack is 275. That's why I've never even tried it with that, but as you can see, that's where the temperature is. Okay, so we're gonna take this and put it in some hot water. That way it will get all clean. We're going to take our spoon on our candy, and on the sides of there is CBD on these wall sides. So we're going to take it and we're going to clean up the sides by putting this hot candy on the sides, and this is going to loosen up the CBD or THC juice, in this case CBD. And I'm an old cook, so I like messing and doing things with this candy. Now, after I get all these walls done on the side, then I'm going to add my water. And because it got so hot, I'm going to have to add some extra water. Your instructions say use 1 to 3 teaspoons. There's 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. This is a tablespoon, so there's 3. I'm going to add another one. Makes it 6. Now I'm going to hold it on the sides, because as I mix it up, it's going to steam, and it's really hot, and it will burn you. The steam will. But you got to mix it up really good and get that water all mixed up with this candy, or you'll make a Tootsie Roll. Of course, the more water you add, the softer this candy. And 6 teaspoons is quite a bit of water. Usually I add about 4, but it's always fun to experiment, especially when you're live. So this is my first live feed. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. As I'm doing this, I mixed up the water in the cup with my candy mix, and I'm gonna do the walls again. Because I don't want to leave anything that I don't have to leave out of my edible. And now I'm going to let it sit with the spoon in it until it gets hard enough to make candy pieces. And this usually takes 4 or 5 minutes. These candy pieces are still warm, because I just made these also. They're, we'll break one open here. As you can see, they're soft. Softer than like a peanut patty. Now, after you put the water in it, mix it up, and it's sitting there, if you want to add peanuts or coconut or any other type of taste, this is when you do it, and you put it in there and you mix it up really good. When you do add something like that, you want it to be room temperature, preferably. You don't want it to be frozen or really cold, but you can add just about anything. We added some fruit cake in it a couple of times. It actually tasted really good. But whatever you add to it, and as you're mixing it up, it will cool off your product faster, and it will get ready quicker to make pieces of pieces of edibles. But I'm not going to put anything in this. Just doing the basic chocolate fudge, and as you can see, it's still fairly liquidy. We're going to let it sit there for a little while. Anyway, we make 5 kinds. We make a strawberry daiquiri, and we make a red wine, and a margarita. The margarita and the pina colada, which is right here, they're not as sweet, which that's the ones I really like. The chocolate fudge, the red wine are a little sweeter, but the strawberry daiquiri is kind of halfway. So, as we let this sit, as you can see, it's getting a little thicker. It doesn't take long, usually about 8 minutes before it thickens up enough. One way you can tell is right now it's really shiny in there. And when it gets kind of a dull look, that's whenever it's ready to go. Here I did a pina colada earlier. Here's those look like. These are my favorite. Well, margarita's pretty good too, but the pina colada is really good. And I like mine a little harder. I can make them Tootsie Roll consistent, or we can make them as hard as a scone if you want to. But either way, and somewhere in between, it's a nuance thing on how to make your own edibles. So we're just gonna let it sit there for another couple of minutes, and it should be getting ready. Once they get cool enough, then we'll just make our portions depending on how much strength we want our candy. In this case, I really don't care because I'm getting my own hemp and using it, so I don't have any price on it. So each one of these pieces will probably have about 100 to 150 milligrams of CBD in them. So as you can see, it's getting thicker. Not quite there yet, though. And it still has that shiny look to it. But it's getting duller. So it's myoediblecandy.com. We've got 5 flavors. You can also buy them in some CBD stores, some dispensaries. We've got them in beauty shops, barber shops, anywhere that somebody likes to make their own edibles. And we all know, if we're watching this, how much better edibles are for you physically, and how you get 100% of your product with an edible versus 30 or 40% when you're smoking it, and smoking's not good for you. Plus, with these edibles, I have found over the years that if I do not eat anything, if I eat an edible on an empty stomach, my edible kicks in extremely hard after about an hour and a half after I've eaten it, and I get about 4.5 hours of pleasure out of it. Of course, after it's kicked in, I invariably have to eat something. As you can see, it's getting hard. It's almost ready. This cup, still in the bottom of this cup, is extremely hot. So you always have to hold it where it's not hot. A lot of time when I first start, I hold it around the top. And like I said, it's a nuance to making any edible. But these edibles, unless you overcook them, always come out, and you can always see what kind of temperature. You want to be sure that you get that 245 to 250 Fahrenheit temperature by checking it with your meat thermometer, because if you do that and it's not 245 degrees, just pop it in there again for another 10 seconds. Check it again, or 15 seconds, or however long that you want it to be. Now see, it's almost ready. And this is going to be good and soft candy, this is. Yeah. Just give it a couple more minutes here. Like I said, all these pieces of candy are what you'll make. Easy peasy. Yep. So, as you can see, pretty close. I think we'll just go ahead and make us up some pieces right here. So we just take it. I use a knife. You can use another spoon if you want to. And scrape off whatever size candy you want. With your knife and your spoon, just like this. I'm making these pretty good size here. And after I use a knife because it gets most of the product off of the spoon. Now I'm scraping the sides, getting all I'm going to get. As you can see, we got most all of it. We're going to scrape this last piece. So we're going to try to scrape the back of the spoon also and get everything off of it that we can. Now, got a spoon. We can eat it like a popsicle, or we can wait till these cool, which are just like these, and they come out just like this. So that's MYO, Edible Candy Mix. And thank y'all very much.